This is the Sainsbury laboratory in Cambridge, the University of Cambridge, and it's set on the edge of the university's botanic garden. The laboratory is dedicated, it's a new institution as well as a new building, and it's dedicated to fundamental research in plant science. And the buildings, part of the building's remit is to help to attract the best scientists from all over the world, including Nobel Prize winners and all the rest of it. And because of the site, we have a site which is right on the edge of Cambridge here. We have houses right next to us. And the scale of the building is really important. And what we've done is to actually press the building down into the ground. As you come in, you move down a slope. It's actually carved into the ground to give it a very strong horizontal emphasis. Well, the building is essentially made of concrete. Concrete is a wonderful material because it's a plastic material. You can use it sculpturally, you can use it to form spaces, and of course structurally it does fantastic things. We have some fairly substantial cantilevers, huge long spans, and I think we've only got one column in the building, so that's taken a huge amount of thought and design effort. The other thing to say, of course, is the quality of the concrete. Concrete is a bit like cooking. You know, you have to get the temperature and the mix and the time in the oven correct, otherwise it all goes very, very wrong. And it's produced a concrete which is warm in feeling, has been very carefully detailed, very carefully controlled. But when combined with limestone and oak and metal and glass, is raised to the level of almost like a noble material. So hopefully it looks handsome and part of the building. The interesting thing is when you're trying to plan a laboratory, you have support spaces, you have laboratory, and then you have communal spaces or write-up areas or whatever. In our case, it's the street. When you put those three things together, the labs get trapped in the middle. And we wanted to maintain a contact between the laboratory space and the garden, the outside and the inside, as it were. And so what we did was to raise the laboratory almost imperceptibly by 50 centimetres above the level of the street. So this allowed people working in the laboratories to just look over anybody moving around in the street and have that view over the street to look out into the courtyard. We have arranged all the working spaces on one single floor. As Roger Freeman, the chief scientist, says, scientists don't do stairs. So everybody works on the horizontal. We have horizontal plan, which gives maximum communication between all the different areas arranged around the street. So that's on the first floor, and then on the ground floor we have all the communal areas such as meeting rooms, lecture theatres, administration areas and so on. And then down below that we have a basement, a very large basement for the building, which is full of the building plant, but it's also full of technical plant support spaces. They have growth chambers and preparation rooms and so on and so forth. We decided to develop a long stair to draw people from the south end of the building back into the centre of the building, to kind of rebalance the kind of dynamics of the spaces and the movement in the spaces a little bit. So we developed a very long stair with very long treads. Well, we knew that we wanted to maximise daylighting for the quality of the spaces. We also knew that we wanted to maximise it in terms of sustainability in a low energy building. So the building is built around a courtyard. It actually has three courtyards. It has an entrance courtyard, the main courtyard, and then a garden courtyard at the back. But it's built around the courtyard, and so it's very transparent, and light is used all around the courtyard edges of the building. And in the laboratories themselves we have some fairly substantial roof lights which then are designed and sculpted very carefully to spread light evenly over the working area of the laboratory. That is then amplified by artificial lighting which comes on as the daylight begins to fade at the end of the day, so it gradually takes over. And daylighting will light those spaces up to 500 lux, which is what scientists need for about 60% of the year. The building has achieved a BREEAM rating of excellent, which I think is pretty good going for a laboratory, because laboratories are energy hungry. And we've done that by having very well sealed, very well insulated building, because we're using natural daylight, very careful solar control and so on. In addition, we have rainwater harvesting tanks below the building which gather all the rainwater from the roof, and that rainwater is used for plant growth chambers and the glass houses that we built adjacent to the building to irrigate the plants. In addition to that, the roof is literally covered with over 1,000 square meters of photovoltaic cells, and they contribute 10% to the building's energy bill. Scientists all say it's the best laboratory they've ever worked in, and it is attracting scientists from around the world. It's becoming a kind of recruitment tool, which is what it was intended to do. And we have a public cafe here, which is now gaining a reputation in Cambridge. Everybody is wanting to come and have a cup of tea there, so that's doing like 3 or 4 times the business it ever did in the past. And we even hear that people want to come and have weddings here, and so it's beginning to have a bit of kind of local public acclaim. So it seems to be successful on quite a few fronts. I think when we were selected to be the architects for the project, we were naturally elated. I think we realised that we had a great client. And of course, great architecture always needs a great client. We had a fantastic site, and although we had a rather dauntingly challenging brief to produce a building of the very best world quality, and obviously the technical requirements of the building and even the social requirements of the building were challenging, we thought we could do it, and hopefully we have brought it off.